All right, moving on to Zombie 5 Killing Birds. Are there zombies? Kinda. Are there birds? Kinda. Do they kill? Not really. This title is a fucking lie. Zombie 5 Killing Birds. Even the movie just says Killing Birds. Just like fucking Zombie 4 After Death just says. Like they didn't even go that one extra step and even just put zombie in the title of the opening of the movie. Like, no, that'd be too much for them. No, let's just slap it on a fucking poster. We won't even edit or change the movie at all. Although, it is really funny when you're watching one of those movies and right before the alternate titles on the screen, it like blanks out and you can see across the screen like the new title, but it's like doesn't fit the movie at all. You can tell it's like a quick 2-second edit that they did probably in the last minute. Alright, so we've got Laura Wendell in this movie from Ghost House and Tenebrae. And we also have Robert Vaughn in this movie, which this is definitely a movie he probably looks back on and goes, why? What was I thinking? Now, Robert Vaughn is somebody that is a very prolific actor. He's been in tons and tons and tons and tons of shit, and of course people will know him from this and this and this and that. But for me, he'll always be Baxter Kean from Basketball. I remember going to Basketball when it came out with my friends, and we went back next day. Like, we just thought it was the funniest shit ever, and there was this kid in our group that just reminded me so much of Squeak, Little Bitch Scolare, and I was like, we used to call him Squeaks all the time. It's not my fucking name, okay? Heard your mom's going out with Squeak. Like, anybody who doesn't laugh at Basketball just does not have the same kind of sense of humor as me. Like, we're just not gonna get along in that way. There's like a few things of comedy, like Mystery Science Theater 3000, most Trey Parker stuff, Trey Parker, Matt Stone stuff, but Basketball. I know Basketball is something that they're not really all that proud of, and I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if that's true or not. I think that I don't know. Something about that I heard, but I don't remember ever seeing them specifically saying that, so I hope that's not true, because Basketball is great. Anyway, okay, I'm reviewing fucking Basketball night right now, although I'd much rather talk about Basketball. Okay, I think I just said okay like 7 times there. So this is a movie where you kind of got to fill in some blanks for yourself for sure, because on the synopsis of the film it says that a Vietnam vet comes home from the war to find his wife in bed with another man, so he kills her, her lover, and the neighbors next door, or friends or whatever. And while I can surmise all that for myself, you do have to fill in the blanks there. He's coming home, he has a present, he drops it on the ground, and you're like, okay, obviously this is the lover, he has fatigues on, he's coming home from the war, whatever war this is. I'm guessing it's Vietnam, because it flashed forward like 20 years, and this is the early 80s, so Vietnam. You can kind of, as I said, you can fill in the blanks, but it's never really outright said, unless I missed it. But I was trying to pay closer attention in this one than I was in Zombie 4, because I felt bad that I didn't understand a part in that, and I'm sitting here and I'm the one reviewing it, and I should be, you know, the one telling you guys, not asking your fucking opinions. Some rinky-dink operation I got going here. But so the girl runs out to her car, and she immediately gets in and turns the keys. Man, she must live in one real nice ass area. I guess she does, like, if you know the movie. But she just leaves the keys in the ignition. I've never lived in a place so safe I can just leave the keys to my car in the ignition. I've definitely lived in places where I don't have to lock the door. When I was up in like Sedona, man, you forget to lock the door all the time, and it doesn't even cross your mind. It reminds me of like Dennis the Menace. When Christopher Lloyd's hobo character or whatever comes, he's like, a place where you don't even lock the doors or something like that. I haven't seen the movie since the 90s, but I do remember that as a kid being like, although I guess I wasn't like a kid, I was like 14 or 15, but I remember seeing that and being like, oh man, like I grew up in LA. I was like, what kind of place doesn't lock their doors? You gotta like put 6 bolts on, have a freaking shotgun, like, you know, in your arms at all times. Okay, it wasn't that bad, but still, never left keys in the ignition. But I never left keys up in the visor either. How many freaking movies have done that since Terminator 2? I'm just going to talk about other movies this whole time. So, the neighbor guy who goes to run to his car and get his shotgun, gets his shotgun out, cocks it, and then takes a freaking knife to the head. And the insertion of the knife, like the practical effect for it, is so bad. It's so funny looking. I'm like, oh my god. You actually see it go in the head, but it's like a really close-up shot, and it looks like he's just stabbing a bag or something. It's a terrible, terrible effect. The opening of this movie is a straight-up slasher. So I was like, killing birds? This is more of a slasher movie. And I'm like, zombies killing birds? Where the whole, like, birds play into this? The birds come out of the cage and, like, pluck Robert Vaughn's eyes out, although he's not Robert Vaughn at this point, but he becomes later. Did the cops investigating this, like, have any fucking idea what they were doing in the slightest? Like, I wonder who killed these people. This guy just returned from Vietnam today. Their wife is in bed with another lover. The family who came over was murdered as well. He's sitting here, has his eyes plucked out, and when they find him, they brings him and he has a freaking baby at the hospital. So he told them what? Some guy attacked us right when I got home? Then why is there a fucking dude dead in your wife's bed? Pretty sure you did it, OJ. I'm pretty fucking sure. So I don't know what the hell happened there, but somehow he got away with it and then became a bird expert because birds plucked his eyes out. And these guys, these college kids, get a grant to go research this, almost extinct woodpecker, which we never really see and is never really brought up again. And the birds in this movie, they come at the very, very end, but not for any reason. And the zombies, I don't even know what the zombies are, and I don't know what effect the birds supposedly had on the zombies. They're just back from the dead for vengeance, I guess. I'm guessing that the zombies in this zombies, there's like one or two of them. I can only assume that they're the corpses of the victims of the guy who killed the people in the beginning, and they're coming back for vengeance. But why are they taking vengeance on the kids? Are they going after the son? Like, why would they go after the son? He's the only innocent one left of the... Like, it makes no fucking sense. Why are they wreaking havoc on these people when the only person they want to, exact their freaking pound of flesh on is Robert Vaughn, who's not even there. He's at a different place. Like, this movie makes no fucking sense. It doesn't even, like, remotely make sense. It doesn't even try to make sense. This script is a train wreck. I was sitting there the whole time like, wait, what? We're fucking going out to look for birds? And one of these guys is like a computer major, and I guess he's making money somehow selling like the most pixelated or like pixel porn you've ever... It's like just like a few lines that are moving back and forth like it's having sex. And he's like, what are you doing with that? And he's like, oh, making money. Maybe that's just the outline. And that's like the skeleton, and then he's going to overlay something over it. But this is like the early 80s, man. They barely had any technology then. So I'm assuming that that's all it is, although he made the dick huge. But yeah. So, and then they have to take a journalist along with them, and they're trying to like insert drama between the main guy, who's actually the kid in the opening, grown up, him and some like one of the other scientist chicks has got a thing for him, but he brings Anne along, played by Laura Wendell, and she and him kind of have a thing possibly, and she's getting jealous, and like all that's going on. Like, it never really goes anywhere. It never really does anything. They're never really all that romantic with one another. The scientist girl though that is after him is pretty freaking adorable. But that's about it. There really doesn't come much of it. So it's just kind of shoehorned in there to be like the romance, the taut, love triangle. And it's super fucking lame. And then they find a dead body out in a vehicle. They open up the door and it's like, well, we don't need to report this to the authorities or anything, and that shouldn't set off any red flags to go back. Let's just trudge along and look for the woodpecker. Hey, Woody, are you around? Okay, so they go, and then our main character here, which I can't remember his name, but he's having some hallucinations of seeing Annie's throat slit, which is, I guess, a flashback to what Robert Vaughn's character did to show him what he did. I don't understand why he's being punished. He's the baby of another couple that just so happened to show up. Like, doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And then there's like a fucking 3-minute scene where these people are just walking around looking for Jennifer, and they're like, Jennifer! Walking around. Jennifer! Reminds me of the Blair Witch Project. Josh! Tell me where you are, Josh! Except for in that movie, that's actually a tense-ass scene, especially when they find that house in the dark. Ooh, terrifying. But, oh, man, Blair Witch. That's like seriously one of the most underappreciated franchises. I told you, I'm only going to talk about other movies, but the ending of the newest Blair Witch, when they go out and they see the house, oh, that whole ending is amazing. Some of the scariest shit in recent years, in my opinion. And then, okay, so the computer geek has to go back for his computer. I can't leave it behind. I'm willing to die for it, man. I gotta sell this pixel porn. So he runs back in, and it's like this small little briefcase, and everyone else's bags are sitting right there. Could have just grabbed them. I mean, I know he's trying to get in and out really quick, but just grab a couple. Favoritism. I know, he's just trying to get in and out. I just thought it was funny. I was like, there's a bunch of other bags right there. Like, nobody went back in. They all run back out, but then he goes. But then they don't go with him. They just wait outside for him. It's so dumb. Oh, man, this fucking movie is dumb. And then this girl's getting her neck ripped, and the guy's car, like the van, is just lurching forward slowly. I don't know if like the force is pulling them forward because the car won't start. Maybe he's letting his foot off the gas or the brake, and I don't know. But no one back there who's feeling the car actually coming forward and her neck going further and further and starting to rip away. Not one of them yells, "Hit the brakes!" Her head's getting ripped up. Nothing. Nobody says shit. They just sit there. I don't know what to do. God, those are terrible noises I just make. I don't want to ever make those noises again. And then this other guy, nobody ever does anything in this movie. When somebody's in peril, like, nobody comes to their rescue at all for any reason. So they go downstairs. There's this generator down in the basement, and they strike out the generator down there, which I don't know how old this house is. I think this is where the murders took place, right? So no one's been in that house for like 20 years, 18 years, something like that. Okay, generator wouldn't work because A, the gas would be fucking garbage, and a generator that old with the oil and everything, there's no way that would start. It doesn't matter, stupid, but this guy starts it, and his necklace gets caught, and it's fucking pulling him down. And this scene is no joke. Like a full minute, like 60 full seconds of this guy, and he's trying to fight back, and the thing is going deeper and deeper into his neck, and there's a guy just standing not 2 feet in front of him going doesn't do anything. Nothing. There's no way. Okay, A, if that thing kept turning along, it would either pull him down and break his neck and rip his fucking head off if it was that strong of metal, or it would just break. It wouldn't just sit there and go slowly deeper and deeper because the gears are turning still. So if it was caught in there and it was pulling him forward, it would pull him down into the gears or something for it to go slow like that. This scene makes no sense. It's not tense. It's just stupid. Hilariously dumb. Then another group is upstairs. The main guy, Anne, and another guy. I think the computer guy, maybe another different guy. It doesn't matter. But he gets grabbed up through the ceiling, right? So they're up in like the attic, and the freaking roof. The guy breaks through. The zombie. Finally, some zombie action in this movie. I think this is like freaking first zombie kill. reaches through the roof, grabs the guy around the neck, and starts pulling him up. And Anne and them are just like, oh, help. They're just trying to grab at him. And then he dies somehow. Like, not somehow, but he dies and then somehow continues to just keep hanging there. And at first I was like, so is the zombie just still holding him in the arm? Because they're like hugging him and being like, oh my God, there's nothing we could have done. But he's just still hanging there. If he broke through the roof, what would he be hanging on? It's wide enough that he could get his whole arm and everything up through. So how did he bring him up? What did he do? Like set his chin on the side of the roof and then he just hung there? Because there's nothing here, because it would have had to break enough for his head to come up through. So what did he supposedly rest him on for him to continue to keep hanging there? So fucking stupid. And so then Robert Vaughn comes in and he's like, go, let them have their revenge. And then the birds swoop in and kill him, and then the credits roll immediately. And I'm like, so that's all they wanted? Why didn't they just go for him? Where were they? Where were they before? Like, they've been stalking him and not doing anything? He had to return to that house finally? Is that why they brought him? But why attachment does he have to these kids? Why would he even bother showing up there? Like, yes, I know it's the other kid, but he doesn't seem to give a shit. He only comes last second, but they knew it was going to draw him in, so they waited for a group of kids to come back so that they could lure him back with their deaths that he didn't know about, and then hopefully he'd show. Like, what? Fuck, man. How do scripts like this get written? I want to know how scripts like this get written. I don't care if it's fucking Italy. I don't care if these people were on drugs. How do scripts like this get made? I guarantee you. I'm not saying that I can write the next fucking masterpiece. I'm not gonna, get my film into the freaking, whatever the hell that thing is where they like preserve your film forever. Like, no. But I could write a better script like this in a day. 100% without question in my mind. I have 10 of them on my freaking computer that are 1,000 times superior to this. It's just crazy to me that movies like this get made. I mean, I still had some fun laughing at stupid things. It's, it's so bad, it's so, so bad, so good kind of thing. But this wasn't that. This was kind of like, that was kind of funny. That's kind of stupid. I can't wait to talk about that. If it wasn't for this channel, I definitely would not enjoy these anywhere near as much, because I wouldn't be able to come down here and have fun yapping about them. But fuck. So, yeah, zombie franchise is not a great one. It's not a great one, but I'm so glad that Kean made me do it anyways. I don't give a shit. So anyway, I am going upstairs to watch a movie called Zombie 6 Monster Hunter, or Anamorphous something, whatever, part 2, or Absurd, or like Paso Ron, some shit. Like, it has like 4 different titles. So anyways, adios.